So I'm sorry for continuing to upload these iMovie or iSight videos, but um, they're just all I have time for. I haven't really had time to set up a camera and do anything fancier for a while. But today, well, it's 11:52 and I've already filmed a video, but I think I'm gonna scrap it and do something a little different for later. Because what I really want to talk about today is Esther. Just a warning, there's a good chance that I'm going to end up crying in this video or coming really close. So if that's something that makes you uncomfortable or sad, then maybe this isn't for you. For those of you who don't know, Esther is one of my very best friends. I continue to say that she is one of my best friends even though she passed away, um, because she still means more to me than just about anyone in the entire world, and I still feel like she knows me very well. Most of you probably know this, but Esther was diagnosed with thyroid cancer at the age of 12, and was kind of bedridden a lot of the time due to lack of energy because of that. By the time she was diagnosed, nets or tumors had already spread to her lungs, which made it really difficult for her to breathe and took a lot of energy out of her. So as a result, she spent a lot of time in bed, and as a result of spending a lot of time in bed, she spent a lot of time on the internet. So from 14 to when she died, just after turning 16, Esther got really super involved in the Harry Potter and Nerdfighter communities. I met Esther in the late spring of 2009. So it was my senior year in high school, and we were actually in a blog TV show for the Harry Potter Alliance, and after Andrew Slack, the executive director, had finished doing his talk, a lot of us hung around in the chat just because we were enjoying each other's company. And Esther and I ended up exchanging Skype usernames. For like 1 week afterwards, neither of us talked to each other because we were too intimidated by the other person's awesome, as I like to say. Pretty much what ended up happening is that I thought she wouldn't want to talk to me and that she was way too cool for me, and that she was just too nervous to message me either. But eventually one of us messaged the other, I don't remember who it was, and we immediately hit it off. Over the next year, I spent a lot of time in this chat that started as this thing called SPEW, which stood for Skype Potter Epic Win, which doesn't make much sense, but whatever. I didn't pick the name. And then it turned into Catitude, which you might know as Effie and Nerdfighters and a lot of stuff like that. And I guess, see, this is where I'm going to start crying. I feel like I owe Esther a lot, or that I've been so blessed to know her because, not only was she such a great influence in my life, but if it wasn't for her, then I wouldn't have met so many people who I consider to be the very closest people in my life. And it's absolutely incredible to me that she passed away almost 2 years ago, and people continue to like discover her videos and to find her Tumblr and just find these little itty bitty pieces that completely inspire them, and that someone can have such a lasting influence even after they pass away. As Lauren Fairweather or Lauren Giacomo has said, she had this very special way of making you feel like you were her very best friend in the entire world within 5 minutes of getting to know her. And whenever you had something that you wanted to talk about, it felt like she dropped everything that she was doing and just gave you her full attention. And to find something like that in someone so young, her and anyone at any age really, is just incredible and so unprecedented. I had the pleasure of going on her Make-A-Wish trip in June/July of 2010, which was only like a month or two before she passed away. That was the only time I actually got to see Esther face to face. It was hands down the most meaningful experience of my entire life. I mean, she didn't have much time to get to know these people. I only got to talk with her for about a year before she passed away, and in that time she became such a dear friend of mine. She wasn't always so like metaphorical and graceful and beautiful. I mean, she was always beautiful. Um, at least I always thought she was beautiful. But some of my favorite memories of Esther is just when we were doing stupid things like talking about butts and poop and drawing horrible pictures of John Green, and just being terribly, incredibly immature. And I definitely feel so blessed to have known Esther to begin with. I don't honestly can't imagine my life without her. More than anything, though, I really wish that she had gotten the chance to meet more of you. Because not only, I mean, people say all the time that they would have loved to know Esther, but she would have loved to know you guys too. Which I think is the hardest part. Okay, well, thank you for watching me cry. I mean, that's what VEDA's about, isn't it? Just kind of sharing from your heart. And that's what she did with her VEDA, and it's an inspiration to me. And she said, whatever, I'm done. This is so over. I can't do this anymore. I love you guys. You mean a lot to me. And I hope you've had a great night.